This next video will have to do with slope. Slope is defined by the letter M, and it represents the rise over the run, or the change in y over the change in x. The change in y is illustrated by the difference in the points of y2 minus y1 and x2 minus x1, where x1 and y1 are some coordinate, and x2 and y2 are a second coordinate point. The way we can identify with this is just selecting 2 points on any graph. Here I just picked 2 points, 2, 2, and 6, let's say 6, 12. Now, the rise over run is what it's actually counting is it's counting how many units it's running across and how many units it's going up. And that's how we get this slope right here. Now what the slope indicates is how much change is occurring for every y value in comparison to x value. So for every set of y coordinates to x coordinates that it's rising and running to get to this next point, it's a fraction. As we can see here, we see the change in the values, right? The change is depicted by the difference, which gives us the distance between the two, and the quotient here gives us a relationship, a comparison between the two. So we're seeing how much higher it's going as it goes across. Now let's try to figure out the slope between these 2 points here. To get that, what we're going to do is we're going to come right up over here and we're going to substitute the points. Now since this point comes first and this point comes second with respect to the x-axis, right, here we have x, here we have y, we're going to start by labeling these the x1 and y1 and these as the x2 and y2. Alright, so first things first, I'll just draw 2 coordinate points here where I have 2, 2, and secondly 6 and 12, and I'll just label these x1, y1, x2, y2. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute them in. Now remember, whenever you substitute a coordinate system in, you want to use parentheses, alright? So like, we're going to put the 6 in a parenthesis set, and also the 12 in a parenthesis set every time we substitute it into the corresponding number that it belongs to. We'll start with the y2, which is 12. So we put 12 in parentheses, and we're subtracting the y1, which is 2, and that also goes in parentheses, and this is all over x2, right, which is 6, placing that in parentheses, minus x1, which is 2, and we're placing that 2 also in parentheses. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to take the difference of each set. First let's simplify that. Here we have 12 minus 2. The 2 becomes negative because it's positive. And on the bottom we have 6 minus 2, and this 2 becomes negative because it's positive as well. Finally our result is 10 over 4. And our last step is to just simplify this fraction right here. To simplify it, remember that to produce 10 is 5 times 2. To produce 4, it's 2 times 2. Eliminate the common factors and we have our reduced fraction. Alright? So our slope here is going to be 5 over 2. That concludes finding the slope.